Good morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to News in Motion. Today is March 6th, 2023. It is a Monday. Fun fact, today is Garfield's favorite day of the week. Today is also your favorite day of the week. Let us know in the chat. Also, let us know where you're tuning in from, whether it's through Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. If you're an audio or podcast listener, we want to say thank you for tuning in. If you're watching the replay, good afternoon, good evening, good whatever time of the day you're tuning in from to you. With that being said, let's get this news in motion.
What's up, everyone? Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning to all of you. I am Gail Dudley. I am your host of News in Motion. As Isaiah said, today is Monday, people. It is Monday, March the 6th, 2023. I see all of you rolling up in here this morning. I see you, Adrian, on YouTube. I see Tanya on YouTube. I see Dr. Monica Lowe on LinkedIn. I see Kim Edmondson. I see Tanya that jumped over to Facebook as well. I see Kim Edmondson. I see Dr. Antoinette coming in here from Baltimore. I see Rosanna. I see Lori. I see Shirley. I see Robert Holman. I'm missing some of you. I see Jeffrey Allen James. I know I'm missing some of you. I see you, Deborah Johnson. Y'all don't forget her show tonight at 5 p.m. as well. I see you all rolling up in here. I see Kenny that's in here as well. He's in the green room. I'm just excited about today. We have a special segment of News in Motion we want to share, and we're going all the way in. Don't leave us, don't leave us, don't leave us, because this is information. I'm going to be doing a call to action, and I'm going to need your help. Yes, I am, y'all. As you know, yesterday marked the 58th anniversary, if you will, of Bloody Sunday. So this special segment is going to be dealing with that today. I have information from the White House. I have information from other news sources. I'm going to unpack this, but I'm going to need you to stay with me. And if you know people who need to be tuning in, go ahead and hit the share button now, asking them to join us. Because this information today, I know we have a few classrooms that are tuning in. Also, I sent out an email, and some of you have already responded saying that you will be tuning in. If you're listening on podcast, we understand if you're driving, you need to keep your eyes on the road, but make sure you come back and hit the replay and to share this information with others. I see you, Deborah Sneed, as well. So y'all, I see Sardinia coming in here also. So go ahead, y'all, get the algorithm going. And how you do that is to hit the heart continuously, hit the thumbs up continuously, make comments continuously to get the algorithm going. I don't ask you to do that often, but I'm asking you to do that today because of the information, the content that we are going to be sharing. I see you, Marion Jackson, coming up in here. All right, y'all, again, today is Tuesday, March the 6th, 2023. I am your host, Gail Dudley. Y'all, we are headed into our third year come June. Now, y'all, if y'all have not listened to Politics and Prose, y'all, the latest episode, episode 9, I'm asking you all to check it out. I see you, Latrice Jones, coming in here. Happy birthday to you, sister. 50 and 1. Y'all, season 1, episode 9 of Claim Your Confidence with Lydia Finette. Y'all, she is a New York Times bestseller. Y'all, that podcast is rocking. I want all of you, please find Politics and Prose podcast with Gail Dudley. Just Google it. Just Google it in there and let it pop up. Please do me this favor. Please do us this favor. Subscribe to the podcast and download this particular episode. If y'all can do that this morning, that will be great. This morning, meaning after News in Motion. That will be great. Deborah Johnson said that podcast is fire. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Isaiah. Y'all, I had a great time interviewing her, and it is doing some amazing things. We're going to be discussing our numbers later on today to see what else we can do with bringing in New York Times best authors onto Politics and Prose. That's why I'm asking all of you for your help. Please go to that particular podcast. Please go to episode 9, claim your confidence, and please subscribe and download that. Please, please, please. Rosanna said, just got on iHeart and been listening to your podcast. Yes, thank you. You can find it on iHeart, TuneIn, Spotify, Apple Music. I'm missing some. There's a lot of them that are out there. Amazon. Just go out there. If you would download, we would greatly appreciate. Deborah says she gave so much information. She did. She did. So that is rocking out. All right, y'all, to continue with our highlights of women. And I guess I'm just going with the authors this month. Maybe not all the time, but I am so far. Y'all, this book is still rocking it. And we all need to read this now going into the 2024 general election. You may say, Gail, this is only March 2023. Believe me, we need to prepare. This book is an excellent read. What Happened, Hillary Rodham Clinton. Y'all, this book is phenomenal. If I could get her on Podcast and Prose. Listen, y'all. I see Latrice Jones. Now, I was saying that real quick. I need to go back there for a moment. Latrice Jones, if y'all been on Facebook, y'all know she turned up on Friday. I was turning up with them. And I think we were all, we're all over 50. I think we were all feeling it the next day. I said, man, what a party. But I was like, oh, I can't move. But listen, it was a blessing to celebrate Sister Girl and her 50 and 1. Just had a blast. Just had a blast with that. So I want to just shout out with her. The other book I want to bring about today, since we're going to be going here today, is When You Grow Up to Vote by Eleanor Roosevelt with Michelle Markle, illustrated by Grace Lynn. No, y'all, she didn't write the book right now. Okay, this was, got to read the whole thing. It says with Michelle Markle. But anyway, this was gifted to me by Deborah Johnson. This is a great book for anybody who's not really understanding how all of this works. I would say pick this up. So students, all of you who are tuning in from high school, pick this book up. Teachers, make sure they can get this book. I don't believe this book has been banned yet from your library, but in case it is, just go out and get it. This book is phenomenal. All right, y'all. So we want to start off with Kenny Stanley with Game Over, but don't y'all go anywhere. We have a lot of news that we have to unpack. Again, invite your friends and family. See, Latrice says we were all definitely feeling it on Saturday. If I'm totally honest, I'm still feeling it today. Well, girl, I am too. But I was like, I got to get moving. But it also, y'all, when you gather like that, if I can just pause just for a moment, if you gather like that and you get into it and you're celebrating someone you love, and y'all know Latrice Jones is dearly loved, you will do anything. Now, it took us to get a canoe to get there. Okay. I was like, we're going to have to use a canoe to get to the destination. But once you got in there, knowing that you were celebrating someone and the love and the camaraderie and the celebration and the dancing and the something else was going on. But it was just amazing. It was absolutely amazing. So hats off to you, Latrice, 50 and 1. But do your thing, girl. Do your thing. Do your thing. All right, let's bring in Kenny Stanley with Game Over after his intro. What's up, Kenny Stanley?
What's happening? How y'all doing out there?
We're doing good. I want to tell everyone, y'all, Kenny's podcast, I get all the numbers. Kenny's podcast from Saturday has hit over 150 viewers. So let's be excited about that. A lot of them are the replay, because of the time that he comes on, people may be doing something or forget. I'm noticing that a lot of people are tuning in Sunday, either before church or after church, or maybe even during church. But anyway, y'all, we want to celebrate Kenny for those numbers. It took about 5 months, but you just stay the course. You just stay the course. You stay the course. And you have stayed the course, Kenny Stanley. And now we're starting to see the return. So congratulations to you, your
Thank
consistency.
you so much.
Even through the time you were out in December, look how quickly you bounced back. So yeah. I just want to say hats off to you. So slow and steady is the way to do this. Slow and steady. Thank you so much. So don't be discouraged when you see 1 or 2 on your live, because those 1 or 2 on your live is creating a replay, and the replay is now going. You're edging closer to 200 faster than you know. So congratulations to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So thank you
You
so
are
much.
welcome. You are
All
welcome.
right.
I'm doing what I do, and I'm here to highlight new voices and people who are doing some amazing things. So congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. News and Motion family. Good morning. Welcome to Game Over with me, Kenny Stanley. Hey, it's championship week. Conference tournaments kick off this week on Wednesday, and we're going to see what's going to happen. I can't wait till the March Madness come. I'm waiting to fill out a bracket. I haven't filled out a bracket in about 4 years. I'm filling out a bracket this year. I'm going on ESPN. I'm going on everybody filling out their brackets. I'm filling out a bracket this year. I'm trying to win. I'm trying to win. But yesterday, NCAA basketball remained hot. Number one, Houston held off Memphis 67-65. Number 5, Purdue slipped past Illinois 76-71. Michigan lost a heartbreaker to number 15, Indiana, 75-73. That was a horrible turnover at the end of the game, but it happens. It happens. And number 21, Maryland falls to Penn State on a last-second shot, 65-64. On the women's side, number 1, South Carolina beat Tennessee 74-58. South Carolina is my team to beat. On the women's side, I do believe they're going to go undefeated and they're going to go back-to-back as champions for the women in NCAA basketball. Number 7, Iowa crushed number 14, Ohio State, 105-72. Number 8, Virginia Tech beat Louisville 75-67. Number 9, UConn bounced Marquette 81-52. Number 11, Villanova slid past Creighton 63-61. And Washington State upset number 19 UCLA 65-61. Hey, the NBA has been nothing but fire also. Yesterday, the Phoenix Suns beat the Dallas Mavericks 130-126. The Indiana Pacers won by 3 over the Chicago Bulls 125-122. It's looking like the Lakers are going to try to slip their way into the playoffs because these guys are balling out even without LeBron. They're balling out. Anthony Davis led the way yesterday as they beat the Golden State Warriors 113-105. The Brooklyn Nets beat the Charlotte Hornets 102-86. And OKC, that's Oklahoma City Thunder, they beat the Utah Jazz 129-119. It looks like Milwaukee is not the only hot team in the East, as the New York Knicks has won 9 straight, and they beat the Boston Celtics yesterday, 131-129. Milwaukee Bucks bounced back from their loss by my 76ers on Saturday. They bounced back yesterday to get a win over Washington, 117-111. They're 16-1 in the last 17 games, so that's pretty good. And then the LA Clippers, they came from 15 points down to outscoring Memphis in the fourth quarter, and they won for the first time in 5 games. So this is their 6th game they didn't play since the All-Star break, and they won yesterday. They beat Memphis 135-129. Hey, Fred Jones, if you're watching or if you're going to watch later, the poking and prodding at the NFL Combine, it ended yesterday. It's an inside joke between me and Fred. He texted me Saturday after my show, and it was funny. But, yeah, it ended yesterday. DJ Turner II, a cornerback out of Michigan, turned in the fastest time and fastest 40-yard dash time, running a blazing 4.26 seconds. He was moving. Jackson, former Ohio State wide receiver Jackson Smith-Njigba had the best 20-yard shuttle time, clocking 3.93 seconds, and he also had the best 3-cone drill time of 6.57 seconds. Hey, that's sports. Back to Gail for more news. I'll see y'all Thursday we'll see y'all so y'all can see what's coming up on the weekend.
I love it. I love it. I want y'all to hear something. I'm going to say this to Kenny on this public platform. You see, you get those numbers up, that confidence goes up. Y'all see how he laid out this sports today? He was rapid firing this information. So again, Kenny, to you, congratulations.
Thank you. And can I say thank you to Shirley Nicholson? She tunes in every Saturday. She's the first one that pops up, and I'm loving it. And also to Rosanna Bivens. She pops in all the time, too. I just want to say thank y'all because that does me good also. So thank you so much. I'll pop up as soon as the show comes up.
Yay, absolutely. You can say that. All right, y'all. All
All
right, y'all,
right.
we got to go into the special segment today of News in Motion. Again, get your friends, get your family, get your coworkers to tune in because I have a lot of information I want to share with you. Um, Yesterday, again, it marked the 58th year since Bloody Sunday in Selma, Alabama. So today I decided to put together this information to share on News in Motion and to bring you things that you will more often than not hear it from other places. All right, y'all. So I honestly did not know where I wanted to start, so I'll start here. The Tennessean reporting. Now, the reason I did not report this last week is because I wanted to hear the entire video for myself. I wanted to watch it. I wanted to read the bill that they were talking about. And I did not want to just grab a sound bite of him saying, can we add hanging them from the tree? Well, I'm here to tell you that it's very sad to say that he did say that. And it was in response to a bill that was coming forward that was dealing with execution. So the Tennessee state representative is backpedaling now after he suggested adding hanging by a tree as a method of execution during discussion this week in Nashville about a bill concerning capital punishment. Now, Representative Paul Sherrill, Republican, made the suggestion during a criminal justice committee meeting on last Tuesday while lawmakers discussed House Bill 1245. If y'all get an opportunity, y'all know what I say. I want you to read it for yourself. I need you to pull House Bill 1245 out, and you can get it. It's public knowledge, and read that for yourself to understand what was happening. Now, this is an amendment to the bill that would allow for death by firing squad as an execution method in Tennessee. That alone is a problem. And then, of course, Representative Paul Sherrill goes on to say, and I'm going to sign your bill too. So, yeah, we're talking execution by a firing squad. And then this dude said, and can we also add hang them by a tree? I'm not hang them, but hanging by a tree, not them. And then he goes into a quote. I was just wondering, could I put an amendment on that would include hanging by a tree also? That's what he said during the meeting. Then he offered to sign on as a co-sponsor of the bill. Y'all, this is happening. This is happening. This is happening. I see you, Pastor Alex. What's up? Yes, Kim Edmondson, that happened. And y'all, I know many of you were wanting me to talk about this Wednesday and Thursday. By now, you all know I will not share something until I have checked it out. I'm not going to go just by sound bites. Yes, the sound bite alone was pretty interesting, but I need to make sure it was the actual tape. I need to make sure that I wanted to see the committee minutes, and I did. I wanted to research everything before I bring it to you. That's how we do it here on News in Motion. So he's issued an apology. He says, and I quote, I regret that I used poor judgment in voicing my support of a colleague's bill during the Criminal Justice Committee on Tuesday. My exaggerated comments were intended to convey my belief that for the cruelest and most hideous crimes, a just society requires a death by penalty in kind. Although a victim's family cannot be restored when an execution is carried out, a lesser punishment undermines the value we place on protecting life. My intention was to express my support of families who often wait decades for justice. I sincerely apologize to anyone who may have been hurt or offended. Yeah, okay, you had to say that, but we know what you really think. You want to add hanging by a tree to that bill, the bill that's already hideous within itself. But y'all pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. Let's flip over to this past weekend to CPAC, which is a Conservative Political Action Conference. Now, Nikki Haley said during the CPAC in a half full ballroom, the following quote. I want y'all to pay attention, y'all. This is going into 2024 and they're already started. Do not miss what's happening. She says, and I quote, wokeness is a virus more dangerous than any pandemic. I'll repeat that. Wokeness is a virus more dangerous than any pandemic. So you're saying that my being awake and alert and knowing your foolishness and your shenanigans is more dangerous than COVID? 19. Are you serious right now? Jeffrey Allen James says Tennessee, unfortunately, home of one of my favorite cities, Nashville, need to be sanctioned over and over again. Deborah says this is horrible. What's up, Cherie? I was thinking about you. She says, when I heard it, I said to myself, I know Gail Dudley's going to go in on this. Yes, yes. And Latrice Jones says, I'm over these BS apologies. I'm with you. So, y'all, we have that on Tuesday. And then on Saturday, Nikki Haley, I think was Friday, her speech on Friday, y'all, we need to pay attention. Now, we freely use the word, let's, wake up, let's be woke, folks, whatever. But I want y'all to go back to something. During slave time in the history that I've read, they had code languages. So a code language. So I don't know if we need to go back to code language and not show all of our cards, but we need to be able to have conversation without them knowing what the heck we're talking about. Yes, I said it right here on News in Motion because I am indeed fired up. Listen, her quote again was, wokeness is a virus more dangerous than any pandemic. I think they would rather us be asleep, but they have awakened the giants, and we need to stand in this time. And they did this all going into the 58th year of Bloody Sunday. Y'all pay attention. Tuesday, Friday, then you had the former guy on Saturday. So I ain't done. And yes, Jeffrey Allen James sent me an inbox on Sunday morning. Said, I'm sorry to send this to you on Sunday morning, but I was already on it. Pay attention, people. Pay attention. Y'all, Florida bill. There's a bill on the floor that is to end the Democratic Party. Y'all, that's in Florida. And thank you, Dr. Antoinette, who's always marking my words out there. Y'all, she said in the Gail Dudley voice, precedent. Y'all, if this passes here, imagine where we're going. Y'all, Republican in Florida's legislator has filed a bill that, if enacted, would eliminate the Florida Democratic Party. In the quote, the Ultimate Cancel Act, filed Tuesday by State Senator Egolia, would require the state's division of election to immediately cancel the filings of any political parties whose platform had previously advocated for or been in support of slavery or involuntary servitude. Now, y'all, let's be truthful. Way back in the day, the Democrats were under this, but the way they formed that to try to make it seem like it's happening today, y'all, you have to be awoke. We have to wake up and understand what's happening. Okay, so the bill called Senate Bill 1248, look it up for yourself. Florida is public knowledge. Go pull it up, y'all. Senate Bill 1248 will require Florida officials to notify all registered voters who belong to any canceled parties that their parties no longer exist. It would also change their voter registration to no party affiliation and provide procedures for those voters to update their affiliation to an active political party, which the only political party that would be active would be the Republican Party. Y'all, don't miss this. Don't miss this. Don't miss this. Don't miss this. Y'all, the bill would allow any canceled political parties to re-register with Florida State's Department, but only under the condition that the party changes its name to something substantially different from the name of any other party previously registered with the agency. Say what? Y'all, let's unpack that. Whew, that was a whole lot that I had to give y'all, but this is serious. Again, it's Senate Bill 1248. They're saying that any party that was ever attached to slavery or anything that happened back during that time, that it will be erased pretty much. So they want to eliminate that. And so that's the only other active party. They're not even looking at the Independent or the Green Party as active parties. They're only looking at Republican and Democrat. So if they get rid of Democratic Party, there will only be one, and you would only be allowed to register for that one party if you wanted to vote. Y'all need to pay attention. Y'all need to pay attention. Y'all need to pay attention to this. Again, look it up for yourself. Y'all, Senate Bill 1248. Again, it says it would require Florida officials to notify all registered voters who belong to any canceled party. That's the word they use, y'all. Canceled party, like cancel culture. They mad. They big mad. They big mad that people are being canceled, that people are being exposed, that people are raising their voices. They want you to stay oppressed. They want you to stay suppressed. And they want you to stay marginalized. They don't want you to have anything. They're getting rid of our books. They're trying to get rid of our history. And we cannot sit back and let these things happen. All right. So this is what's going on. I will get the one of the links in there, but I want y'all to read this for yourselves. Well, I'm not done, y'all. And this is just Monday morning. And this isn't even what's happening Tuesday. Y'all, in Florida, New York Times is also reporting that a proposed Florida law will push it hard to the right, which means they're having a new legislation session on tomorrow, where the GOP lawmakers have unveiled a suite of bills, suite meaning multiple, meaning more than 12 bills that are delighting conservative and wronging progressive free speech groups and civil rights leaders. These are the bills that they're going to be dealing with on tomorrow. And they're called, when you hear them say a suite of bills, it means more than 12. I'll go back over that. It's going to worry progressives, and they're coming after free speech groups, they're coming after civil rights leaders. The bills also includes provisions that would ban gender studies majors and minors in higher education. They will open up media organization to more libel lawsuits, including News in Motion. If I talk about what I'm talking about right here and it ends up in the state of Florida, I can be in a liable lawsuit. They want us to shut up. And can create a universal school choice voucher program. These are the suites of bills that they're going to be talking about on tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah, along with getting rid of the Democratic Party. Y'all need to pay attention to what's happening. Let me see what some of you are saying. Marion said they're trying to take this country backwards. Annette says politicians going wild in Florida. Kashana, good morning to you, says, wow. Jeffrey Allen James says, all this comes from the loss of Republicans suffered in the last election, wanting to punish all people of color. Lori Wallace says, who in their right mind would go on record to cancel an entire party? That's on record for life, and you are permanently attached to it. Kim Edmondson says, what's wrong with our country? All great questions, statements, but we have to keep going because I'm not done. Not at all. So yesterday, we know that President Biden, along with other dignitaries, crossed the bridge once again. Again, yesterday marked the 58th year. And I just want to read some of his remarks because I get them. He says, no matter how hard some people try, we can't just choose to learn what we want to know and not what we should know. He goes on to say we should learn everything, the good, the bad, the truth of who we are as a nation, even if it's ugly. And he goes on to say, and everyone should know the truth of Selma. This piece right here, he says 600 believers put faith into action to march across the bridge named after the Grand Dragon of the Ku Klux Klan. They were on their way to the state capitol in Montgomery to claim their fundamental right to vote, laid in a bedrock of our Constitution, but stolen by hate harbored in too many hearts. He was really giving this speech yesterday. He says, with unflinching courage, foot soldiers for justice marched through the valley of the shadow of death, and they feared no evil. The forces of hate conspired to demise, but they endured. They forced the country to confront the hard truths, to act to keep the promises of America alive. I don't know why I don't put on my glasses because I can't read none of what I'm saying. Then he goes on to say, I promise that declares we all created and deserve will be treated equally. 2 weeks later, they marched to Montgomery with Dr. King and even bigger coalition of people from different races and faith. He goes on to say in a speech, 5 months later, the Voting Rights Act was signed into law. He says, but as I come here in commemoration, not for show, Selma is a reckoning. The right to vote. Now, I want y'all to pay attention to his words because he did not mince his words on yesterday. The right to vote, and to have your vote counted is a threshold of democracy and liberty. With it, anything is possible. Without that right, nothing is possible. And this fundamental right remains currently under assault. The conservative Supreme Court has gutted the Voting Rights Act over the years. Since 2020 election, a wave of states and dozens of anti-voting laws fueled by the big lie and the election deniers now elected to office. He said a new law, and he was in Selma, Alabama. He said this yesterday, y'all. He said a new law here in Alabama, among other things, enacted a new congressional map that discriminated against Black voters by failing to include what should have been a new predominantly Black district. He called it out, y'all. He goes on. I mean, he says so much. This other line I want to say, he said, the task force before us is about justice, but it's also about jobs, financial stability, the ability to generate generational wealth. It's about hope, self-worth. It's about dignity. He says, but it's all currently under attack. Y'all, we cannot ignore those words that he shared on yesterday and what we are sharing here on News in Motion. Y'all, we have to take a stand and do something. I just gave y'all the news of what's happening. And it's not just in Tennessee, and it's not just in Florida, it's in Texas, it's in Utah, it's in other places, y'all. We need to pay attention with what's going on. This is not to put you in a place of fear. This isn't to do that. It's to say, what do we need to do? Because when I was looking at the marching over the bridge yesterday in Selma, Alabama, I said, you know what? We have to keep marching. We have to keep talking about it. We have to keep raising our voices. We have to keep finding other ways to put books out here. We have to keep educating our children, those that look like us and those that do not look like us. We need to continue to fight, y'all. We need to continue to register people to vote. We need to continuously ask people to come out and vote. We have to continuously do this. This is what we do. This is what we're here for. So I got a fact sheet yesterday, and if you get News in Motion, the e-newsletter that comes out today at 9:15 a.m. So if you haven't signed up for it, go to gaildudley.com. As soon as this segment is over, go to gaildudley.com and sign up for the free newsletter. It'll drop at 9:15, so you need to do it by 8:45. You'll get the fact sheet. I have all the links live on the fact sheet. It says under the label from the White House. So just to give you some information, they go through the reasons we need to vote, why we need to vote. Listen to this. Here's a quick rundown. It says U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, and that's the USCIS. They talk about the responsibility of voting and why your voice matters. Department of Education, by the end of March, the Department of Education will use studentaid.gov to help connect borrowers to voter registration services, which means if you are borrowing this, we're going to connect them to voter registration services. And the reason why they're doing that is because they want to make sure people have the option to register to vote, no matter what your party is. Also, Department of Agriculture. You might think, what does that have to do with anything? Well, that department will enhance efforts to promote access to voting by encouraging all USDA agency field offices to make nonpartisan information about their voter registration available. Believe me, we need all of this. Everywhere you turn, there should be something about have you registered to vote. Myself and my daughter with Ready Publications several years ago said, when people check out the grocery store or stores or whatever, on their receipt should say, have you registered to vote? If not, click here. Everyone needs to have the opportunity, but we cannot have it if we're not going to take a stand and make our voices heard. Indians Health Services. The Indian Health Services will promote access to voting in Indian country. General Services Administration. Vote.gov is now accessible in 12 languages, y'all. Department of Treasury, in addition to supporting third-party volunteer income tax assistance partners, is offering voter registration services. I think I went through both of those. Department of Interior, in 1993, Congress passed National Voters Registration Act. They're going to put another piece on there to make sure people have the opportunity to register to vote. Department of Justice, Department of Defense, Department of State, and the list goes on. They're doing everything to make sure you have access to voting. Y'all, if we don't register to vote and if we don't continue to check our voter registration, it's on us. It's on us. I'm telling y'all the news. I'm not telling you something that I heard. I'm telling you something that I researched for myself, and I'm imploring you to research for yourself as well. We have to do something today. Stop waiting on somebody to raise up to lead the people forward. Dr. Martin Luther King's no longer with us. He left us a playbook, though, that we can use. Malcolm X left us a playbook that we can use. Other people, Shirley Chisholm, left us a playbook that we can use. Maya Angelou left us a playbook that we can use. Y'all, people have left us a playbook that we can use. The question is, are we willing to open up the book, open up the playbook, and read it? Yes, I am fired up today, y'all. I am fired up today after reading all these things that I have read. Y'all, they did an executive order on March the 7th, 2021. They also revisited on September the 20th, 2022. And even still today, y'all, we are having this ongoing fight with voter registration, suppression, oppression, and marginalization. All of those things are happening. Yeah, so we can sit back and say, I don't want to hear this, Gail Dudley, or we can say, we better wake up and do something. And y'all, don't be too late on that side of doing something. Yeah, today, I'm asking everyone to check with at least 10 people and make sure they're registered to vote. Now, y'all don't go to your auntie and them that you know are already registered. I want you to do the work. When you're at a grocery store, hey, have you registered to vote? Don't talk about party, none of that. Just have a voice. Are you registered to vote? Give them vote.com, vote.us, vote.org, whenweallvote.com. Y'all, we have a list of them. We'll put them in the thread later on. Let me see what some of you are saying. Stephanie Burbridge Hall says the playbook is fire. Kenny Stanley says we are the change that we want. We need to act like it. Mike Nicholson says, now we need civil rights leaders. But Mike, here's my question. Who are the leaders? Who are they? Why can't we do it? Why can't you do it? Why can't we all collectively do it? And I want to dialogue with you on that. He said that's why they're giving certain Black folks great jobs so that they stay quiet in order to keep them. Let's talk about that for a moment. Y'all, if you have a position of significance, don't stay quiet. I believe with everything in me that God placed you in that position to help others. So don't act like now that you've arrived, you don't have to do anything. Your work is just beginning if you have those spaces. Cherie said, I accept the challenge. We will include this option on our website. Please do. Please, please, please do. Dr. Antoinette says, and a change in the numbers. Listen, y'all, there's a lot that is happening and we need to pay attention. And I'm going to say it. Stay woke, y'all. Stay woke. Robert Holman says there's a change in power happening in our country and they are scared. Dr. Antoinette, a system will never benefit those it doesn't recognize. The system is doing exactly what they wanted to do. But we need to come in here and shift that system. And we need to be like, okay, this is where you're going. This is where we're going to. Shirley Nicholson said, that is right there. So a lot of dialogue, a lot of conversation. And I can go on and on and on and on. And I'm not here to beat a dead horse, y'all. I'm here to really wake us up. Y'all, if you had any idea of what I read over the last 5 days, and I don't even have time to unpack it here on News in Motion for an entire week. But if you would have just a peek into what is happening, you would not become terrified. You would get ready. You would get ready to make sure that everybody in your circle of influence is registered to vote. You would also do voter education classes, which we want to kick that off right here with News in Motion. We want to ask again for ambassadors, News in Motion ambassadors, y'all. We're talking volunteer hours and maybe 5 hours a month. You know, it may go more, but right off, let's go 5 hours a month where you're really educating people. When you're getting the information from the News in Motion newsletter, y'all pass that out. Encourage them to sign up if you don't want to keep forwarding the newsletter. Y'all, I'm not saying this to pump myself up, but I'm doing something different here that I don't see anywhere. And yes, I said what I said. It's about equipping you. I'm not trying to get $1 million to do this, that, or the other. Now, I do want your help, and I'm going to ask for that in a few moments. But y'all, we're trying to get this information out there to people. Mike Nicholson says, Gail, I'm out here in these streets fighting and holding my political leader friends accountable, but that money got them not hearing me. And Mike Nicholson, I believe you 100%. That's 100. But we cannot stop. We cannot become exhausted. That's why I'm taking off the month of April, thanks to Deborah Johnson, to the team who told me it's time for me to back up. And let me just say this to y'all. And they didn't say back up like you got to stop. They're saying back up to get refueled, to come back out. Let me give you an example. This weekend was exhausting. It was exhausting putting all this together for you all today. And it's been exhausting. Isaiah and I were saying this on Thursday since January. Y'all, the news cycle has been exhausting. Well, I cannot keep going as my fuel is starting to diminish. I have to step back to refuel to come back. But today was one of those days I had to come out with everything that I have because y'all, this right here, what I'm seeing right here is extremely concerning. This isn't something I heard. This is something I read, and I'm empowering you to do the same type of reading. Latrice Jones says, I'm here for all of this, Gail Dudley. I can hear you now saying this in my head. Jeffrey Allen James says, this is a blatant attack on Americans, challenging us to fight back if we dare. Latrice Jones says, let's go. Mike Nicholson says, that's facts. Kenny Stanley says, it's time for us to do just that. Rosanna Bivens says, going to put that on a post and pad and ask and give those who need it to register to vote. That's a great thing. And Shirley Nicholson is saying ditto. So y'all, the inspirational message is this, Luke 6:38. And don't y'all start dropping off of here now. Don't start dropping off of here now. Let me get through this. It says, give and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, shall men give into their bosom. For in the same measure that ye met withal, it shall be measured to you again. Yeah, that came straight out of King James. I wanted to go as close to the actual wording as possible. So what am I asking you? Y'all know right here, I never really give a hard ask. Every now and then we say, hey, send us a Cash App, do a PayPal, do something. Well, today I'm asking you to help me stay on the air. Yep, y'all, it's that serious. We have been shadow banned continuously. I was speaking with Ron Robinson, who's always on here. Y'all notice he hasn't been on here. I saw him on Friday night while we were turning up with Latrice Jones. And he says, where are y'all? Can't find y'all. He cannot find News and Motion on Facebook. So we have to figure out what else we can do. What do we go to our own channel? What is it that we have to do to stay on the air, especially as we're going into 2024? Well, y'all, I'm here to do the research, although I'm asking you all to do the research as well and to bring you the facts. Well, today is the first time I'm asking for a hard ask. I have decided, after much prayer and having conversation with my husband, that I am giving up a portion of my coaching services, which brings and fuels and pays the bills in my household, that assist paying the bills in my household, and to focus on news and politics with everything that's happening as we're going into 2024. So I'm going to give news and politics 70% of my time. But in order to do this, to make sure I'm constantly bringing you the facts and having the time and opportunity to research, I'm already spending about 8 hours a day. And I'm trying to manage that by doing my coaching to keep that finance coming in. But I'm giving up a lot of that to stay focused and giving 70% of my time on this. I need your help. Your financial help is what I need. Just like we give to food banks, clothing banks, giving to causes all over the world, voter education, news, and politics are just as important. They're just as important. And y'all know without a doubt, you are not getting this Monday through Saturday, 24/7 on any of the other networks. You know you're not getting that. So why not bless the organization, bless the company that's doing it? Now, you can do this by sending a Cash App to MIM today. You just send a Cash App. Now, you know you're not going to get a receipt for that, but you can just send a Cash App. Or write and send a check where you will get a receipt to Making a Difference LLC. That address is 346 and a half North 20th Street, Columbus, Ohio, 43203. Isaiah, you can also get that in the chat so they can have that as well in the chat. So you can send a check there and put in the memo section, News and Motion /Gail Dudley. And then if you do that, if you do send in a check, please let us know. And that's a check of any amount. Please let us know so that we can send you a proper thank you. We want to be able to do that. So y'all, that is our hard ask today. And I'm asking for that because y'all, there is so much we need to unpack here. And I want to make sure I'm giving you straight facts. I want to make sure that you're doing that. So I'm giving up. I prayed about it. I went to my husband about it. And I said, babe, I got to do this. And he said, well, if God's called you to it, you got to do it. He said, but how are you going to financially be able to do this? I said, look, if they believe in News and Motion, these viewers have been with us, some of them, more than half of them, for almost 3 years. I said, they have to feel this in their heartstring. And they have to say, you know what, let me write this check. Whether that's a monthly check, a weekly check, a yearly check, whatever that is, to get us through 2024. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, Facebook is about ready to put us off of here because we're bringing you the facts. I received an email on Friday from Meta. Meta sent me an email. Yep, I'm calling them out and I hope they listening. Meta sent me the email telling me to tread lightly, so to speak, on what I'm saying. They're watching me. They're watching us. And they are. And I really don't care. So if you happen to come on here tomorrow and you don't see us, just follow us on our YouTube channel. Because any day now, they're going to say we're done with News and Motion. Our YouTube is youtube.com/Gail Dudley or any podcast platform. But I love the conversation in the chat, so I never want to lose the chat feature, but they're coming for us. They're coming for us. So I got my little warning letter on Friday from Meta. And I ain't even respond back because I don't care. But y'all, I'm here to bring y'all the facts. This information that I gave to you today, many of you have heard it for the first time here. You're not hearing it on the other stations. You're not, or you're getting just a sound bite. So y'all, that's what I have. I'm going to bring in Isaiah. Isaiah wanted to share a few words as well. So Isaiah, come on in.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm coming out and let you do your thing.
All right. Like Miss Gail Dudley said, we have to bring awareness to this, y'all. The fact that Meta is sending her an email telling her to tread lightly because we're bringing the truth, and the fact that people still aren't able to find us, um, shows that we are being shadow banned. That they are trying to erase our history, erase erase us. They're trying to censor us for just speaking the facts. We have to bring awareness to this, y'all. So please, so into Miss Gail Dudley. If you appreciate and you value the information that we bring here on News and Motion, that these other news sites are reporting about, or if they are, they're, like Ms. Gail Dudley said, they're only reporting the sound bites. Sow in. It's what you sow in, you're going to receive tenfold of. So like I've said before, they can try all they want to. We're not going nowhere. We're going to fight to continue to bring the truth, the relevant commentary. We're gonna continue what we're gonna do. We're not changing for nobody or anything. We're not changing to fix anybody's agenda. We're just gonna stay ourselves, because at the end of the day, that's what we do. I just want to give a shout out to Miss Gail Dudley for her constant hard work, the hours, the early mornings, the late nights, everything that she does to bring this relevant commentary and this news outlet, and for the guests that she brings in, and the politics and pros. Y'all be sure to download that podcast. Be sure to download Politics and Pros on whatever you listen to podcasts at, whether it's Spotify, Apple Music, but just wherever you download podcasts at. Be sure to tune in. However we can help Miss Gail Dudley and News in Motion, we need to start doing that. We posted the Cash App in the chat. You can also write the check to Making a Difference. If you write a check, be sure to put in the memo selection that it's for News in Motion. Like Miss Gail Dudley said, you can do that weekly, monthly, yearly, just whatever you can do to help Miss Gail Dudley out. This has been a lot of information to process. I know when I heard about the hanging amendment, or the bill being processed or even thought of, I immediately thought of Ms. Gail Dudley, and I sent it to her, which was funny because I found out about it on TikTok. And if y'all know what I've said about TikTok before, sometimes it brings useful information, but sometimes it can be a black hole. So I sent that to her, and she was like, yeah, we got to talk about this. So we are going to continue to do our research, dive in for this information, but we cannot do this alone. So we're asking for y'all help. I know we can pull through. I know we can do this, y'all. So with that being said, y'all know what Miss Gail Dudley says. We're going to stay well. We're going to continue to make bold moves. We're going to continue to bring you the irrelevant commentary, and we're going to continue to make some bold moves. So with that being said, we will see you tomorrow, and we are out.
Nah.